Yo, what's up? Today with another GoPro tutorial, and in this tutorial I will give you 5 GoPro video editing tips that make your videos look more cinematic and be more engaging instantly. And before we start, I also want to tell you about my new course. This week I launched my new GoPro cinematic video masterclass. In this course you learn everything that you need to know to produce cinematic and professional looking GoPro videos. So if that sounds interesting for you, you will find the link to that in the description below. Just make sure to check it out and let's get started. Okay, let's start directly with the first tip, and that is in case you shoot in HEVC, that you should convert the HEVC files either to MPEG-4 or ProRes, because HEVC, even if you have a bit newer, better computer, it either lags, so you can't really edit fluidly, or when you do color grading, you have some lag where it basically shows you wrong colors at first, and after a second or so you see the right colors. So that's also kind of distracting, and that's why I prefer not to work with HEVC footage natively, but instead I convert it either to MPEG-4 or ProRes. ProRes are very big files, but because they are big, it means that they are less compressed, and therefore it's easier for the processor to handle those files. And to do that, there are many video converters, but you can also do it in your video editor. So video converters that I use is Edit Ready, that's my favorite one, but also Apple Compressor works. And for example, on Windows you have one from Wondershare, but there are also many others. Also some are for free, so to check that out for Windows. I'm not a Windows user, so I can't talk too much about that, but just type in HEVC converter Windows in Google and you will find many options. Apart from that, if you don't want to download a converter, you can also use optimized media in your video editor. So either in Final Cut Pro 10, in DaVinci Resolve, or in Adobe Premiere Pro, you have the option to convert your files on import to optimized media, and that basically generates ProRes files. So the files are huge, but therefore you get a lot faster workflow. So that's also something to consider. And my second tip is to put clips together in your timeline in a proper way. You can even do that before you even add music, because that makes it easier for you to sort everything right. And there are basically 2 ways you can do that. The first way is to use a story, or to generate a story in the way you put your clips together. That's, for example, easy if you go on a trip. Then you can start by maybe showing some clips of entering your car, and maybe in your car, how you arrive at the place and how you do certain things at the place. That's probably the most easy way for many starters. But there's also another way how you can put clips together that is often used in travel videos, and many people don't recognize that, and that is that you put clips together by similarity. So you look for something that clips have in common. That can, for example, be a car that's driving around. It could be people standing in front of different beautiful looking landscapes. It can be city shots of buildings. It can be that the form of something in the shot is similar. It can be camera movement and so on. There are endless things in shots that can be similar, and by putting clips together that have some similarities, it already doesn't feel random anymore. So that also makes your videos a lot better. My GoPro Hero 7 video is actually a good example for that. So if we have a look here, you can first see 2 people in front of a beautiful landscape, PP Island in that case. Then in the next clip, you can see 2 people also again in Krabi in front of a beautiful landscape. And then the next clip is not 2 people anymore, but also 1 person in front of a beautiful landscape. And the clip after that is without a person, but you can still tell that it's at the same place. So all these clips are not put randomly together. I always look for similarities there, and you can easily do the same. And the third tip is that you should better edit a short but engaging video than a long but boring video. So a problem that many people have after getting their shots from a trip is that they come back home, then they get a song that is maybe 3.5 or 4 minutes long, but the footage is just not enough to fill out the song properly. So then beginners usually start to stretch the clips, having clips that are maybe 10 seconds long or so in the video, and that is very boring to watch for the viewer. And so my recommendation here is that you should simply create shorter videos. You must not use a complete song. It is totally fine if you end the song in the middle or so, if you maybe cut the song at certain places and put it together in another way so that it's shorter. You can also do another tutorial video about that. If you're interested in that, just leave it in the comments below. And that way allows you to use shorter clips. So instead of having clips that are 5 to 10 seconds long, you can use clips that are 1 to 3 seconds long. And that's a lot more engaging for the viewer. So definitely do that. Make sure that your clips are short. And if you can't do that because your music is too long, then just use less of the music, keep the video short. It's totally fine. Actually, even big travel video companies like Beautiful Destinations do that. When you scroll through their feed, you actually find many videos that are under 2 minutes long. Some videos actually under 1 minute. And it's just better to do it like that because they really focus on quality in the videos than on the length of the videos. So definitely go for quality and engagement. And the fourth tip is very specific to GoPro cameras because they are super wide angle and it usually gives it the distorted fisheye look. And there's actually a plugin from Alex4D that is for free. You can use it to fix that look, to fix that fisheye look so that it looks more like a normal undistorted camera. I would just leave a link to that plugin in the description below so you can just download it there and then you instantly make your footage look a lot better, a lot more cinematic because you don't have this bending lines anymore there. But another way how you can also solve the fisheye effect is by simply adding cinematic bars, because the fisheye effect is mostly visible at the edges of the frame, and by cutting the top and the bottom edge off, you automatically recognize that less. Actually, my GoPro Hero 7 video is completely wide angle and I did not use the Alex4D plugin, and some people asked me why it doesn't look like a GoPro, why they can't see that fisheye, and that's exactly the reason for that is that I use this cinematic bars. And my fifth tip is to don't overuse LUTs. So many of you guys use LUTs and I do that as well because it saves a lot of time and I produce one video every week, so LUTs are just a great option for that. But there is a difference between just throwing a LUT on there and think, oh, that looks cool, and actually making it look professional. And that is usually that you decrease the intensity of the LUT. So if you, for example, apply an orange and teal LUT as we do here right now, then you can definitely see that it looks pretty weird. Like the colors are completely not natural anymore. Probably looks a bit oversaturated as well. So what you want to do is just lower the intensity of the LUT a little bit, because then you make the colors of the shot look more natural and the LUT doesn't really do too much to the image. So in that case, it doesn't look too artificial. What especially orange and teal LUTs also do oftentimes is destroying your green tones. So your green tones become red or orange, and that's also something that you don't want. And simply by lowering the intensity of the LUT, that solved that issue, and therefore your footage looks a lot better. So much for the 5 tips. I'm 100% sure that they make your GoPro videos better instantly. But of course, if you want to produce cinematic and professional looking GoPro videos, then you have to stop seeing a GoPro as a normal action camera, an amateurish camera at all, and instead you have to really learn how to use it for proper filmmaking. And that's exactly what I focus on in my new cinematic GoPro video masterclass. We're starting there by talking about the accessoires you may need, then we're going into the settings, and then we have a very deep masterclass about shooting video with GoPro cameras and also shooting for transitions, shooting time and hyperlapses, and also vlogging and shooting yourself. So basically telling a story, because that's what GoPros are great for. And of course, I teach you everything about GoPro video editing so that you are really able to make the very best out of your video footage. So if that sounds interesting for you, definitely have a look in the description below. You will find a link to the course there. And aside from that, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more general filmmaking tutorials in the future, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell notifications button. See you in the next one.